Engineering, University College of Engineering, Kakinada. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all for this Oak Jubilee celebrations of University College of Engineering, Kakinada. To start with, education is the moment from darkness to light, and our esteemed college has completed 80 years of illuminating the lives of countless students. For over 8 majestic decades, the institution has stood up tall as a symbol of resilience, excellence, and unwavering dedication towards imparting knowledge and intellectual vigor. JNTUK Kakinada is not merely an institution. It is a crucible of dreams, a forge of future, and a legacy woven in wisdom and resilience. Today, as we celebrate the Oak Jubilee, outstanding alumni achievers and knowledge of this esteemed institution, we honor not merely a number, but a legacy etched in perseverance, guided by vision and sustained by steadfast commitment to shape the future. To begin this memorable occasion, we would like to call upon the dignitaries on the dais and request to adore their respective seats. A principal is a pillar of an institution, a guiding force whose leadership, vision, and wisdom shape the very soul of its environment. Our respected principal, Professor N. Mohan Rao, is indeed such a man of virtue, a true embodiment of grace in guidance and strength in service. With over 2 decades of dedicated teaching experience, he has carved a distinguished path in academia, inspiring minds and nurturing futures. Please join me in extending a warm and heartfelt welcome to our principal, Professor Mohan Rao, University College of Engineering, Kakinada, JNTUK. I request one of the student volunteers to honor with a book.
Good evening, I am Dr. Jaya from Department of English. Let me invite the most dignified and the man of actions, Professor of Electronics and Communication Engineering, former Vice Chancellor of Nannaya University, student friend, workaholic, man of clarity, conviction, and quiet strength. He truly embodies the phrase, wisdom with a purpose. With utmost respect, we invite Professor K. Padmaraju, Organizing Secretary, Oak Celebrations, to bestow his seat on the dais. Student volunteer will present a book to the sir. It is an honor to invite a trailblazing intellect and a pioneering force in academia, Professor P. Uday Bhaskar, Professor of Civil Engineering at Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Kakinada, with over 35 years of exemplary service in teaching, research, and academic stewardship. A proud alumnus of JNTUK and a doctorate holder from IIT Kanpur, he has left an indelible mark in the realm of environmental engineering. He has guided countless scholars and elevated academic standards through his profound knowledge and mentorship. Beyond the classroom, he served the state with dignity as chairman of APPSC, championing transparency and merit in public service. We request Professor Uday Bhaskar to adorn his seat. Kindly welcome him with a warm round of applause.
Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. These words find life in our Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor CSRK Prasad, a scholarly force and a beacon of transformative leadership, an authority in transportation engineering. He has steered institutions with clarity, courage, and passion for innovation. His journey is one of excellence, marked by a relentless pursuit of elevating the standards of higher education. A man who sees beyond today. He shapes the minds and system of tomorrow with quiet brilliance. With great honor, we invite Honorable Vice Chancellor of JNTUK Kakinada, Professor CSRK Prasad, onto the dais. Let us all welcome him with heartfelt applause. We are truly privileged to have with us today guest of honor, Professor Ved Prakash, a visionary in the realm of education and a stalwart of shaping India's academic policies. A former chairman of the University Grant Commission, Professor Prakash has not only served national institutions but also enriched global academia as a visiting faculty at Harvard University. With our four decades of dedication to educational reform, policy innovation, and institutional development, his work reflects both intellectual depth and administrative foresight. He has been instrumental in steering higher education towards quality, equity, and global relevance. His presence here is not merely an honor, but an inspiration to all educators and learners alike. So with great admiration and respect, we invite Professor Ved Prakash to kindly grace the dais.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct privilege to invite Professor N.M.K. Bhatta, a renowned academician and a master craftsman of thought in the realm of higher education. His intellectual depth and refined scholarly presence have elevated academic standards and left an enduring imprint on countless minds. Admired for his graceful leadership and principled vision, he has been a guiding light in the both classrooms and councils. A man who blends insight with humility, he truly reflects the praise, a quiet flame that lights 1,000 minds. His legacy resonates not in stone or statue, but in the spirit of learning. He continues to inspire. Join us in extending a warm and heartfelt welcome to Professor N.M.K. Bhatta. Navina presents a book as token of respect and reverence to serve. Next, let me call upon a man of computers with strategic vision, iron resolve, and graceful authority. He truly embodies the phrase, steel in spirit and wisdom in action. His contributions stand as a testament in the field of computer science engineering, as he showcased that leadership can forge legacies and shape industries. Sir, we request you to grace the chair. Let us welcome him with a sound applause. Ikshita presents a book as a token of respect and reverence to sir.
upon privilege to welcome Professor K.K. Agarwal, a venerated academician and an influential force in shaping India's educational landscape. A pioneer in electronics and communication engineering, his contributions have left an enduring impact on both academia and innovation. Beyond the classroom, he has held prestigious roles including former chairman of the National Board of Accreditations and Vice Chancellor of renowned universities, embodying the rare blend of intellect and leadership. He truly reflects the phrase, a mind that leads, a legacy that lasts. We are deeply honored by his presence today. With great respect, we invite Professor K.K. Agarwal to kindly step onto the dais. Join us welcome him with a warm round of applause. A heart filled with hope becomes a lamp for a brighter tomorrow. Let us join the prayer song for the bounteous blessings of Lord Almighty to make this program a grand success. Aswita will render the prayer song. I request all of you to please stand up for the prayer song.
गजाननं भूतगणाधि सेवितं कपीर्थ जम्बूफलसार भक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाश कारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् विनायक निन्नु विना ब्रोचुटकु विनायक निन्नु विना ब्रोचुटकु विनायक निन्नु विना ब्रोचुटकु वेरेवरुरा विघ्नराजा विनायक अनाथ रक्षक अनाथ रक्षक अनाथ रक्षक अनाथ रक्षक नीवे काव आदरिल्चि ममु ब्रोवग रावा आदरिल्चि ममु ब्रोवग रावा विनायका निनु विना ब्रोचुटकु वेरेवरुरा विघ्नराजा विनायका
A simple lamp can light 1,000 more, yet its light never diminishes. So do knowledge grow when shared. The lamp we light today becomes a symbol of unity, inspiration, and the endless quest for knowledge. I request all the dignitaries to please join for lighting of the lamp.
कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारकवना सान्विका या वीणा वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करा प्रकृतिभिः देवैः सदा पूजिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापः।
Principal Professor M. Mohan Rao, sir, University College of Engineering, Kakinada, to deliver the welcome speech.
Good evening to you all. Welcome to this curtain raiser event of Oak Jubilee celebrations of University College of Engineering, Kakinada, on behalf of the faculties, staff members, students and alumni. Professor K.K. Agarwal garu, President, South Asian University, Professor Jankiram garu, Senior Professor of CSC from IIT Madras, Professor N.M.K. Bhatta garu, Dean, XIME Bangalore, Professor Ved Prakash garu, former Chairman UGC, Professor C.S.R. K. Prasad garu, Vice Chancellor of JNTUK Kakinada, and Professor P. Udayabhaskar garu, Chairman of this Oak Jubilee celebrations and Professor of EC, Civil Engineering, former Chairman of APPSC, Dr. K. Padmanas garu, Professor of ECE, Organizing Secretary for this Oak Jubilee celebrations and former member of APPSC, Senior Professors. After us, we have Vice Chancellors from Krishna University, Ramji garu, and we have University Directors of JNTUK, alumni from Hyderabad chapter, Vizag chapter, and other local chapters of UCEK, Engineering College World Students Association, Kakinada, principals and management of affiliated colleges, faculty, staff, student friends of University College of Engineering, Kakinada, print and electronic media. A very warm welcome to you all to this event, curtain raiser event. The college, as you all know, the college was established in the year 1946 and it has completed 79 years and entering into 80th year. By 15th July 2026, the college is going to complete 80 years. In this context, the college is planning a series of academic events for year-long Oak Jubilee celebrations. And the college has produced several highly talented engineers, administrators, entrepreneurs, research scientists in all fields. Our alumni have excelled and excelling. They have reached very higher heights. At present, the college is offering 9 UG programs and 19 PG programs. This is with the addition of recently attached new departments. And the college has got 5 UG programs got accredited by MBA and 5 PG programs got accredited by MBA. And our college also has contributed its share for getting NAC A+ for the JNTUK University. As part of year-long celebrations, the college is conducting several events which include international conferences, national conferences, faculty development programs, several workshops and skill development programs. As part of that, the first event is going to be conducted from tomorrow onwards, that is 17th and 18th, a 2-day national workshop with the title Role of National Education Policy 2020 in Swarnandhra and Vikasit Bharat 2047. Several such events are being planned So anyhow, shortly the calendar of events are going to be released, and I thank the university authorities for its financial support, and we have excellent alumni, and we have good alumni network, and alumni are supporting like anything in the form of financial support, and they are extending scholarships to the students of this college, and guest lectures are being organized with the help of alumni, and placement support is also we are getting from alumni. Because of that, placements are getting into every year for this college. I thank alumni for their support to this alma mater, and with this I thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all. I request all the alumni and the participants here from the affiliated colleges for their active participations in all the events that are going to be conducted in the year ahead. Thank you all, sir.
Thank you, sir. At this auspicious occasion, we request Professor K. Padmaraj, Professor of ECE, University College of Engineering, JNTUK, Kakinada, Organizing Secretary of Celebrations, to give introductory remarks on this occasion.
Honorable Chief Guest, respected Vice Chancellor, dignitaries, esteemed faculty members, proud alumni, dear students, honored guests, and press and media. A very good evening to you, all of you. It is a moment of immense pride and joy to stand before you today as we celebrate the work Jubilee, 80 years of glory of our esteemed government college, Kakinada, transformed to University College of Engineering, Kakinada. From humble beginning in 1946, our institution has grown into a beacon of knowledge, innovation, and technical brilliance. It has produced engineers, thinkers, researchers, and leaders who have shaped the industries, impacted societies, and driven progress across the globe. Over these 8 decades, our college has weathered change, embraced transformation, and consistently strived to remain at the forefront of academic excellence. From chalkboards to smart classrooms, from conventional laboratories to cutting-edge research centers, our journey has mirrored the evolution of engineering itself. This celebration is also a heartfelt tribute to our illustrious alumni, many of whom have joined us today. You are the living testimony of what this college stands for. Whether you are leading multinational corporations, innovating in startups, serving the nation, or teaching the next generation, your achievements are our pride. Prominent alumni to mention: Padma Vibhushan Metroman Engineer Sridharan, V.C. Kodandaya Swami. In fact, these two people are instrumental in constructing this auditorium, sponsored by alumni, 7983 batch. Foundation stone was laid down by V.C. Kodandaya Swami and inaugurated by Engineer Sridharan, Delhi Metroman. In fact, if you mention many, like R.S.L. Bhaskarudu, responsible for Maruti 800, Shivashankar Rao, the best steel, Vishaka Steel Plant CMD, Dr. I. Prasad Reddy, Shanta Baitak, who invented the best hepatitis vaccine, and Colonel I.G. Krishna. In fact, there are many IAS, IPS officers even serving today. Former Chief Secretary S.V.M. Prasad Garu, and today people who are serving TTD EO, Shyamala Garu, our Principal Secretary Krishna Babu, our IAS officers Kanna Babu, Nagalapal Srikanth. Many to mention are the proud alumni of this institute. And the words of Veteran I can't forget when he visited our campus when I was the principal. He just commented, the students who study in this college are truly blessed. Really a big testimony to us. To our dedicated faculty and staff, past and present, your relentless commitment has been the backbone of this institution. You have not only imparted knowledge, but also instill values, curiosity, and discipline in the generations of students. I fondly recollect the prominent academicians, to start with the founder principal, Professor Vishwanath, Professor Nadeshan, Professor V.L. Shastri, V.L. Rao garu, Ganti Subramanian garu, S.L. Balasubramanian garu, Professor Girirao garu, many more to speak. And in the series, I am fortunate to be the 30th principal of this institute, the great temple of learning. The oak tree, as we know, is not the fastest growing tree. It takes time, but once it grows, it stands firm tall, and unshakable, providing shade, strength, and shelter for generations to come, much like this institute. When this college was founded, it was like an acorn full of potential, small in size, but mighty in vision. I was fortunate to serve during these early seasons of growth, where each challenge faced was like wind pushing against a sapling while making its roots go deeper. For the years, I have seen this institution branch out in its academic achievements, its infrastructure, and most importantly, in the lives of the students it has nurtured. Today, we celebrate these deep roots and wide branches, the very essence of the work. In closing, I recall the words of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam: excellence happens not by accident, it is a process. And for 80 years, we have been part of that process, growing, learning, and evolving. Happy Oak Jubilee to all. Thank you. JNTUK.
Now, Professor P. Uday Bhaskar, Chairman, Oak Jubilee Celebrations, also Professor of Civil Engineering, University College of Engineering, Kakinada, JNTUK, will highlight the milestones of this prestigious institution.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and most of the members sitting, some of them are my seniors and some of them are my juniors, because I am an alumnus of this institution. So when we thought that a Oak Jubilee celebration has to be conducted, when Vice Chancellor proposed, so then I thought that normally most people, they don't do this Oak Jubilee, isn't it? So then I told them why. So when this institution has completed 75 years, that is a platinum jubilee, so we could not celebrate it in a full swing. The reason is, at that time we all know that that is 2021. We are all in COVID. So that's the reason we are going to celebrate this Oak Jubilee. I thought that celebration is in my way, it's only a waste of this thing. Then he told that it's a celebration doesn't mean that anything, it is only the academic celebration. We will conduct a year-long program, academic program, which is nothing but a celebration for this one. So, and then he told me that I asked him to give it to some younger person as a responsibility, younger staff member. There are so many people. So then he told that you are the senior most and the person who is associated maximum with this institution. So because I am an alumnus, that is 79, 83, I have studied in this college, and 85 I have joined here as faculty, and I have completed 40 years of service, and I know that out of the 79 years which we have completed, and I already know that 79 means 46 years I am associated with this institution as a student as well as a faculty. So, and that's the reason why I am here as a chairman. But for me, almost I think if I have to tell the milestones, almost everything I know, because I am here only, I am continuously associated. But for us, because on this occasion we have to at least highlight a few milestones of this college. I think we all know that it was established in 16/7/1946 as Government Engineering College with an intake of 105 students. So at that time, we have not even, our country has not even got independence. So, and isn't it a college, it will be a government called that an engineering college will be started by the government. And in fact, this college, they wanted to have it in Visakhapatnam. And you can say that this college is also called as a College of Engineering, Visakhapatnam. So, but then, at that time, after the Second World War, the military barracks were vacant, and then they thought that temporarily they will locate it here in Kakinada, and ultimately because of some people from Kakinada who are in the, and at that time it is affiliated to your Andhra University. Degrees used to be given by Andhra University. But then afterwards, when people of Kakinada, like Lakraj, Subba and other people, when they told that the college should remain, and the college remained here and a new college was started by Andhra University at a later date. So that is the beginning of the milestone how this college has come. And with 105 students, there are only 3 branches that are civil, mechanical and electrical engineering in 1946. And that continued for quite some time. And then in 1958, the BE in telecommunication engineering was started. That's also one of the, at that time, nowhere this telecommunication engineering was there. And it was started in Kakinada in 1958. Then, after some time, in 1972, so the government has decided to start a separate technological university. Earlier there were no technological universities in Andhra Pradesh, and government thought of starting a technological university, and they have started JNTU Hyderabad, at Hyderabad. And this college has become a conscious college of JNTU Hyderabad in 1972. So from Government Engineering College, then it has become a conscious college of the university in 1972. And in 1971, the college has celebrated its silver jubilee, and that time it was all, I was not there at that time in the college, but when I joined, people used to still tell it as stories. So there was an open house, and every day thousands of people from Kakinada used to come to the campus and see all the equipment and other facilities. For 1 month they have done it. Every day thousands of people used to come, not only from Kakinada, from around the East Godavari district. So that's how it was done. And with times it has changed, and in 1989, so a 5th branch of engineering, that is in computer science and engineering, because with changing times we are adding the courses, and in 89 it was BTech was started, and then in 1996 the institution has celebrated its golden jubilee, and though it's a constant college, this college was not autonomous at that time, and in 2003 the university has given the college an autonomous status to enable us to get the funds from TechIS. So in 2003, under the World Bank program, TechIS 1, we got more than 10,000 rupees as a grant. 10 crores, more than 10 crores as a grant in 2003. Because we got autonomous, we got that this one. So then we celebrated Diamond Jubilee, that is 60th year in 2006. And afterwards, after 2006, the campus became a university in 2008. So this campus, after 2008, this is a university, and this college is named as a Conscience College of this JNTUK Kakinada. So that is the history of this up to 2008. So even after forming the university, and even the pace of development is much faster, and we have started a new programs like BTech Petroleum Engineering and BTech Petrochemical Engineering in the year 2009. And later we have applied for autonomous status to the UGC, and in 2011 we have received autonomous college status in 2011. And again, after getting this autonomous status from UGC, we again got more than 12 crore rupees, 15 crore rupees in TechUK Phase 2 in 2011. So then afterwards, so earlier though the college was old, so there is no accreditation and other things, isn't it? People used to join this college based on its legacy. But then I thought that with changing times we should also go for this one. And in 2011 we also gone for accreditation of our UC programs. So all the eligible 5 UC programs were accredited by NBA in 2011. And then again we received grants from TechUK under Phase 3 in 2007, good amount of grant. And then we over a period of time in each department, initially we have started one MTech program and then a second PG program. So then now almost in many departments there are even 4 PG programs, isn't it? And in 2018 we also got these PG programs accredited by NPA, and 10 PG programs were accredited by NBA in 2018. So we celebrated our Platinum Jubilee in the year 2021. So and then again the university also gone for accreditation by NAC, because now isn't it? And now this college is also the Conscience College, part of the first one. And in 2022 we got NAC A+ grade. So that is the one. So that is the latest one, and now we are celebrating this Oak Jubilee, this 2025 and 26, under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor. I am sure that the college and the university, the very campus where we have studied for 4 years, and where I am working here for the last 40 years, so it has become a very big this one, and we are going to see new heights in this one. And we already know that many of the illustrious alumni are sitting here. We have excelled in different, in any institution, its prominence not depends on the facilities that are available, on the faculty who are here, sitting here. It is only the alumni who go out and how they perform in the society. So the college stature will grow in the world. So many of our alumni, they have all performed very well in this one, in different fields. So there are many people who are in the civil services, as already been told. There are many people in teaching. So there are many faculty in IITs. Even abroad, there are many of our alumni are in good positions in teaching in abroad. So they have all become entrepreneurs, and you know that there are many digital companies that were started by our alumni. You may be knowing Cyient, Avantel. So all these are digital companies in stock market, and they were all started by our alumni. So and that itself shows the stature of the college. And now in our as a part of our Oak Jubilee celebration, we should take this college or this campus or this university, now it has become a university, to a next higher level, and we should, which makes all of you, all of us sitting here proud. Thank you, Ananda, for giving me this opportunity.
We deem it privilege to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor of JNTUK Kakinada, Professor C.S.R.K. Prasad, to elaborate on the institution's development strategies.
Good evening to all. Revered Professor K.K. Agrawal, the President, South Asian University, Delhi, the Chief Guest of the today's evening function. Honorable Professor Veda Prakash, former Chairman UCEK, and the Guest of Honor of today's function. Respected Professor N.M.K. Bhatta and Professor D. Janakiram, the special invitees of today's function. My friends on the dais, the elders, seniors, faculty members, invitees, representative of the different institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a good evening to all of you. I also welcome you all to this Work Jubilee celebrations. College of Engineering, Kakinada is well known, which was established in 1946. Now an autonomous constituent of JNTUK Kakinada. In fact, this is the college which has given a lot of initial support and foundation to the many engineering colleges subsequently established in the state of Andhra Pradesh, including REC Warangal, from where I have been graduated. So I always feel proud as well as indebted, being a representative of the REC Warangal, always to the University College of Engineering Kakinada for nurturing, supporting, and giving a strength to the REC Warangal. What it is today is because of the foundation given by the several eminent professors representing the College of Engineering Kakinada. Friends who are entering the 80th year, happy birthday to all the University College of Engineering graduates, students, faculty, teaching and non-teaching, all the people who are alumni, etc. 80th birthday is special. In Telugu, Sahasra Chandra Darshanam, the festival we used to do it. So the colleges also saw the full moon more than 1,000 times through the shadows of the mango trees. A really exciting and memorable event. It has established, it has proven its credibility through its existence, not only through the buildings, through the programs, through the alumni spread across the globe. So what else has to be done? Are we satisfied with the credentials, what we have achieved so far? So 20th century, that too, before the independence, we were born. Now we are in the 21st century. The world is shrinking. The entire globe has become a global village. Multinational companies are spread across the globe, cutting across the borders, political borders of the various nations. People are talking about a borderless engineering. So in this era, where the innovation is becoming a household norm, startups, AI, ML, quantum computing and so on, is it necessary for the college like us to think or to look back what we are, what we were, what we are now, what we should be in the next 20 years? Because the 2047 we will be celebrating the centenary celebrations. So 2047, I hope many of my young friends will come. I am also, by God's grace, I hope I will be alive and be part of this entire celebrations, 24. Then what we should be, 2047, that's where we thought that we should have some kind of a guided, a strategic development plan for the college. So what should be our vision? Right now we are doing well. We are known the #1 technical university in the state of Andhra Pradesh. No dispute, no doubts about that. Guiding 162 affiliated colleges, and there are several affiliated colleges became autonomous, about 70 if I remember correctly. They became autonomous with the nurturing of the JNTUK Kakinada. Some of them they became the private universities. So they also, that means the university has produced some more universities. That is credibility. That is the credibility of the JNTUK Kakinada. The university has allowed, nurtured, grown, given enough impetus for the university, just simple affiliated colleges to become autonomous colleges. There is also credibility to the university. Most of the programs being offered by the JNTUK Kakinada, the University College of Engineering Kakinada, are being accredited by the NBA. That is a testimony of the quality of education and teaching learning process being practiced in our campus. The university itself has been obtained a NAC A+ grade, thanks to the former Vice Chancellor, Professor Prasad Rao and his team, for a wonderful achievement. So what is our mission for this 21st century? What are the challenges? So we should have a revised and updated vision to be a globally respected center of engineering excellence, recognized for innovation, research and societal impact. Earlier we were a very good teaching college, transformed ourselves as a university, trying to do something better in teaching and having a baby steps in the research, moving towards establishing centers of excellence. So at this crucial juncture, I thought we should redefine an updated vision of to a globally respected center of engineering excellence, recognized for innovation, research and societal impact. Then we are trying to look at what should be our strategic goals. Then some of the points come across like we should look into the academic excellence, research and innovation, student success and employability, community and industry engagement, financial sustainability for the college, global outreach and partnerships, and infrastructure development. These are all the areas where we have to look into. All of you who are sitting here are the main stakeholders of this college and as well as the university. So we try to look at these pillars. What should be the governance and academic autonomy in the next 20 years? We have to reinforce our autonomous status. Now we got NAC A+. Probably have to aim for the next level of A++. Now the NAC is coming out with a digital recognition, right? So within that, because unless we get the NAC accreditation, we will be deprived of the funds from the UCEK, other funding agencies. Now the government of India is coming out with a unified body for the funding of the universities. We have to strengthen our academic governance. The autonomy is a responsibility. The responsibility to evolve ourselves to upkeep the highest possible quality standards in the teaching learning process, evaluation of the students, nurturing the students, etc. Are we establishing a benchmark like a gymnastics 10 by 10. So that we have to relook into the economic governance, what we are enjoying and what we are going to enjoy in the next years to come. So in this process, we should have some kind of a goals, right? We should look for the academic advisory body, inviting the noble persons, the academic achievers, industry leaders. We should take them as a advisory body and take their guidance for nurturing this college. We should also aim to become a better, improved ranking, whether it is NRF ranking. Like for example, quickly, right now we have 101 to 150 bracket of NRF ranking. I think we deserve much better than that. That I strongly believe it. It is not an impossible task for us to come to the top 50 in the next 4 or 5 years' time. But only thing is we have to wish, because unless we wish it, unless we believe ourselves, even God is not going to help us. Right? If we believe, wishing and working towards that, all the natural forces will align and help us to achieve that goal. And similarly, international ranking, where we are. Can we aim for the top 200 or at least top 500 in the time higher education rankings, world rankings? And similarly, the government of India, through the NAP 2020, is given a large mandate of general enrollment ratio to be 50%. Right now we are around 29%. If you want to make a 50% general enrollment ratio, probably we have to establish another 1200 universities. It's difficult. Maybe it's not, I don't say impossible, difficult task with the financial strength of the nation and financial allocation to these universities. Probably that's where OL and ODL programs are necessary, online programs. So what is our role? JNTUK Kakinada role, and University College of Engineering. Because we have IT excellent faculty members, well qualified, highly motivated, experienced faculty members. Why can't they develop the content, e-content, and offer online certificate programs, such that we can also contribute our might to the nation in realizing the general enrollment ratio of the 50% by 2035. Then we need to modernize our curriculum, because every 3 years we are revising our curriculum, there is no doubt about it, but we need to really look into our conventional programs, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and are offering several master's programs. But are they satisfying the needs of the industry? Where the industry is readily coming and hiring our graduates? Or is there any gap between industrial expectations and our training? That's where we have to look into the several new programs, mixing it with the data science or VLSI, other quantum computing, AI and ML. Can we mix them like a digital teams with the conventional programs, make the students employable and industry ready? That's what we have to look into that. That's what NEP 2020 is also emphasizing on the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary programs. So we need to relook into our programs, and also we have to look for the international collaboration, because as I said that where the entire globe is becoming a village, so we need to collaborate with the well-performing international universities. We need to develop, I will cut short, I think I have taken more than my time allotted, I will cut short it. So several faculty programs, and we need to establish a center for teaching and learning, and we have to have our own dedicated learning management system platform, and we should create a a smart learning infrastructure like a smart classrooms that we have decided all the 60 classrooms will have converting to the smart classrooms in the next 1 year. And research and innovation, we have started establishing the 4 centers of excellence starting with AI and ML, cyber security, e-mobility and quantum computing. And our thrust areas are the biotechnology, nanotechnology, food technology, aquaculture and agri-tech and logistic management in the next 4 or 5 years time. And then we are also having a target. Every faculty member should have one funded project for every year. And then they should publish at least 2 high-end impact journal publications, journal paper publications. And we are evolving the IPR policy and we want to encourage the startup culture in this campus. So, targeting about 100 patents per annum in the next 5 years. That's what we want, whether faculty as well as students, they have to focus on them. And we are focusing on entering MOUs with the industry. For example, recently we have entered an MOU with the Ministry of Home Affairs, established a microdata research center, and also we have been recognized as a design institution for the MSME, and we have collaborated with some of the industries like Avantel, starting an MTech program in signal processing and communications. So we would like to have some more programs such as industry-sponsored programs. Then we are also planning to have 100% employability to our students. We have to ensure each and every student passing out, whether it is a BTech or MTech student, they should have the employability at the end of the course completion with a good package. Good package. Right now, there are around 6 lakhs package per annum on an average. I think we have to raise the bar. At least 10 lakhs per annum. We should have it. Then we would like to upgrade our infrastructure, both digital infrastructure. We want to establish a central instrumentation facility, and we are going to upgrade all the laboratories with the modern equipment, and we want to implement the green campus initiatives because sustainability is also going to play a critical role. Then finally, we would like to have the financial sustainability of the institution because we have realized that all the affiliated colleges are going to become independent shortly. So the income or the affiliation fees coming to the university will come down. So we have to look for the sustainability of our University College of Engineering, Kakinada. So we should target about 1,000 crores of corpus fund to make it sustainable in the long run, to support our innovation, to support us, and also research and teaching learning process. So that's where I think our alumni like UCEK, and also we have to look for the funding from the government agencies, and also we have to exploit the CSR funds from the industries. So with these few thoughts, I thank the principal and then the organizing committee of the Jubilee celebrations of the UCEK for giving me an opportunity to share some of my thoughts about the future of the UCEK. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for elaborating the future plans of JNTUK. It's a proud moment to welcome the guest of honor, Professor Ved Prakash, to address the gathering with his instilling speech. Sir, the dais is yours.
Esteemed chief guest of today's function, Professor K.K. Agarwalji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Prasad, members of the faculty of JNTU Kakinada, invited guests, colleagues from media, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am here because of the blessings of the chief guest. So I am extremely grateful to you, sir, and I express my gratitude to you. And coupled with that is the generosity of Professor Prasad, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, and Professor Uday Bhaskar and Professor Srinivas Kumar. So the first thing that I would do is that I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to them for providing me an opportunity to be here second time in the last 11 years. It's indeed also a matter of great honor and a very special privilege to be participating in this prestigious event conceived by the JNTUK Kakinada, that we are celebrating the Oak Jubilee of the college, which has shaped up the lives of innumerable number of people in the last 80 long years. 80 years is not a small time. Though we have institutions in this world which are 945 years old, we have a college in our country which is 208 years old. The first college that we had established in the city of Calcutta in 1817 under the chairmanship of Dr. Rajaram Mohan Rai, which was known as the Hindu College then. Today it has become a presidency university. Ladies and gentlemen, universities and colleges are the most enduring organizations in the history of the world. They are the highest hopes of the society because they are the organizations which take the society to the next stage of development. And whenever the society faces some kind of a crisis, the solution emerges only from the campuses of colleges and the universities. That has been the history all over the world actually. Colleges and universities are expected to transforming the societies into progressive societies. A progressive society wherein quality learning opportunities are accessible to all. A society wherein everyone's voice is valued. A society wherein people are treated with dignity and respect. A society where social harmony takes precedence over everything else. A society wherein the people believe in science, respect science, and repose their confidence and trust in policy, evidence-based policy interventions. These are the expectations from the colleges and the universities to transforming the society into progressive societies. Our institutions have done exceedingly well. We have established a very gigantic system of education in this country with more than 19 lakh schools catering to the needs of about 27 crore children in the age cohort of 3 to 18 and 1,168 universities and over 49,000 colleges catering to about 4.4 crore children in higher educational institutions. But much leaves to be desired when it comes to quality. People's aspirations are shifting actually. People are asking insightful questions and for which we have very weak answers. They are asking how higher educational institutions are going to respond to the employment opportunities created because of automation, artificial intelligence, and emerging technologies. How higher educational institutions are going to respond to the skilling requirements of the country in the present time when the modern society needs competencies and skills of a different order. And we do not have correct answers actually for that. The challenges are enormous actually. Universities are being scrutinized by multiple agencies today, and universities are not receiving the kind of support that they ought to receive in terms of their financial sustainability. They are finding it extremely difficult to survive in the present time. Universities are forced to anticipate the recent trends, come up with high opportunity programs on the one hand, but universities are also under enormous challenge to sustain the basic domains of knowledge like humanities and social sciences and languages. If we continue to keep our race running after information and communication technologies and after the so-called market-oriented programs, we are going to become a weak society if we lack languages and humanities and social sciences to languish in poverty. So we need leadership which can anticipate these kinds of trends and come up on the one hand with new educational offerings responding to the high opportunity programs, but on the other hand to strike a balance between the basic domains of knowledge which have propelled the society thus far and which will continue to propel the society in the future as well. Universities have to scale up the abilities of the teachers today to respond to the present requirements. This is a wonderful opportunity for university, for JNTUK Kakinada, not only to look into their own programs actually. This is a wonderful opportunity to undertake a critical analysis of the profile of higher education in the entire state of Andhra Pradesh. Where do we stand vis-a-vis other states in terms of number of universities? How come that these smaller states like Rajasthan and Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh have outranked us in terms of number of universities and number of colleges? Andhra Pradesh has only 47 universities, whereas there are 10 such states which are smaller than Andhra Pradesh but they have more number of universities. How come only 45% of the existing universities have offered themselves to external validation through NAC? That is also a question we need to introspect. We have more than 2,600 colleges in our state, but only 17% colleges are accredited thus far by NAC and by the NBA. These are the questions which we need to look into for the purposes of creating a vibrant system of higher education in the country. How come that the state of Andhra Pradesh, which has done exceedingly well in bringing down the net reproductive rate for the first time in the country, how come we are not able to ensure gender parity in higher education? The gender parity in higher education in the state of Andhra Pradesh is only 0.93. The optimum number has to be anywhere between 0.97 and 1.03. We are very close to the target though. After bifurcation of the state, the number of colleges per 100,000 population has declined in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We have states wherein the number of higher educational institutions per 100,000 population is as high as 64 and 59, but in Andhra Pradesh we have only 39. I think that should bother us. How are we going to increase the number of educational institutions in areas wherein the institutional density per 100,000 population is lesser than the state average? The state average is 36 in the state of Andhra Pradesh. I was looking into the NIRF ranking and I was so surprised that out of 47 universities, only 3 universities have figured in the top 50 in the national institutional ranking of the last year. That should bother us. We should look into the reasons as to why. Honorable Vice Chancellor has already highlighted that aspect, that how can we improve our tally, not only in the NIRF, but also in global ranking. In global ranking, I was so shocked actually. We were very proud of the University of Hyderabad, Central University, which we still consider is a research intensive university, but in the recent global ranking, it lowered its position drastically actually. That must be a major concern for us. In the age cohort of 18 to 24 in our country, we have 15.25 crore children. Of them, 52 lakhs children are in the state of Andhra Pradesh in the age cohort of 18 to 24. And only out of them, only 15 lakh students are enrolled in higher education out of 50 lakhs. So the gross enrollment ratio in higher education goes slightly higher than the national average, but if we are going to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50% as we have envisaged in the National Education Policy 2020, I think what we need to do is that we need to almost double the number of the children in the sector of higher education. And that can be done only when we maximize the residual capacity of existing institutions, because the average size of a college in Andhra Pradesh, sir, is only 500. Average size of a college. And therefore, while on the one hand we need to maximize the residual capacity of existing institutions, on the other hand we need to set up newer educational institutions in districts like Guntur, Nellore, Vijayanagaram, wherein the number of institutions per 100,000 population is very, very low. And on the third hand, what we need to do is that we need to have a greater fusion of the conventional mode of teaching and learning with the open and distance learning mode of teaching and learning, also with the online mode of teaching and learning. So I would earnestly request the university today from this platform that we need to take a critical analysis under the following 4 steps. Number 1, where do we stand vis-a-vis others in the country in terms of number of educational institutions, in terms of access, in terms of gender parity, in terms of social parity, in terms of quality. Then the second analysis that we need to do is that what is that has worked in the last 5 years and what is that has not worked in the last 5 years. We need to look into those reasons as well. And then the third exercise should be, where do we want to see ourselves in 365 days from hence, or 2 years from hence, or 3 years from hence. And then the last exercise should be, we should be done collectively and collegially from across the institutions. What should be the guiding principles when we move forward to realize the goals that we set for ourselves? This is a wonderful opportunity for you, Prasad, to undertake this exercise and show the path to the people of the state of Andhra Pradesh insofar as the higher education in the state is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share one anecdote with you, and I'm not going to protect the integrity of my profession by making that observation, but I would like to make a case as to why education must remain in the hands of educationists. The world experience tells us that education thrives only when education remains in the hands of educationists and is not micromanaged by those without classroom experiences, without any experience of designing the curriculum, evolving the pedagogical processes, evolving the assessment tools for the assessment of the potential of the learners. I'd like to share 2 quotes and 1 example, if the time permits. When Otto Bismarck took over as the first Chancellor of Germany, he said, and I quote, Our generals have let us down in the battlefield, but I do hope that our teachers will help us build a great Germany. Unquote. Agra sir, we had echoed almost similar things using different semantics in the National Policy of Education 1986, wherein we said, and I quote, "No nation can rise above the level of its teachers." Unquote. But we have not learned lessons. Other countries have learned. And what is that country which had learned this lesson the hard way and too long ago? It happened to be the United States of America. On October 4, 1957, when the Russians put the first man-made object into the space, it created ripples all over the world. And more so in the United States of America. The US at that point in time was headed by a 5-star general, the Second World War hero, Eisenhower. So Eisenhower called a meeting of the outstanding teachers from different universities in each chamber. And he said, and I quote, "Gentlemen, I am a soldier. I know how to win a war. I do not know how to fix the education. But gentlemen, something has gone horribly wrong with the teaching of science and mathematics in this country, and which is why we have been outpaced by Soviet Russia. I want you to fix the education." It's a long story, I will cut it short. A professor was identified and entrusted with the responsibility of looking into the existing curricular provisions, both at the school level and higher education level. And when Eisenhower demitted the office, the 35th President of the US took over, John F. Kennedy, in 1961, and in his joint address to both the Senate and the Congress, he made a statement, and I would like to quote that statement once again. He said, and I quote, "I want to send an American safely on the moon by the end of my presidency on the intellectual prowess of my teachers." Unquote. We have, since then, the United States of America continues to dominate at the global level in terms of research, in terms of innovation, in terms of creating wealth as well. Having said that, I would like to say that now I make a case, and this should be shared with the political executives actually. If the education is taken away from the hands of educationists and placed under the complete control of administrative, political and commercial entities, the consequences are going to be far wide and deeply damaging. Education must be used as a tool for societal growth and not to serve the purpose of a political party. Curricular provisions should not be manipulated and aligned with political orientations. Political orientation should be kept away from the education if we are really interested in empowering every single youth of our country. Teaching and learning should not be micromanaged. It undermines not only the autonomy of the teachers, it also undermines the spontaneity of the entire learning process. Policies and reforms should be led by individuals with good grounding in classroom processes, coupled with an art of providing differential treatments to the learners coming from Shimoga and Bijapur and Guntur and Nellore. Those children would require different kind of educational interventions as compared to that of the children coming out from the city of Hyderabad or Calcutta or Bombay and Madras. And we should never ever forget that talent is evenly distributed in a sizable section of the society. And I talked about evidence-based policy intervention, and I would like to give one example. This is an internationally acknowledged fact that when you are increasing access, it not only increases the social demand, it also improves the educational attainments. Because large number of talented children are left out. The system doesn't support them, system push them out. And therefore, if we want to become a vibrant society, I think we'll have to look into these reasons. We'll have to come up with appropriate strategies so that we can move forward together, so that we can uplift. If we are not going to empower our children, all of us will be under a severe threat of security. Their prosperity is our strength. Their prosperity is our strength, and when they express their gratitude, that is the highest reward they can give to their teaching community. And therefore, I would once again like to close my today's assertion by saying that let us learn from the world experience, which has revealed that education thrives only when it is shaped and led by those who understand the nuances of education, who understands the significance of the heterogeneity in the classroom, who understands what kind of differential treatment is required by a common sense learner, by an analytical learner, by a dynamic learner. So, I will stop by saying that I am not talking about safeguarding the role of educationists. It has a societal imperatives, and that we need to understand. And therefore, Prasad, you have got a wonderful opportunity to show the way to the state of Andhra Pradesh and to take not only JNTUK to greater heights, but other sister institutions as well. And therefore, I would like to suggest to you, this is my unsolicited advice to you, get out of the present model of governance and think of a consortium model of governance where institutions can come together, they can maintain their autonomy, but they can make the most out of the pool of resources, both human resources and physical resources. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the Honorable Vice Chancellor for providing me the opportunity to be with you when we are celebrating the 80th year of the illustrious institution which has shaped up the life of innumerable people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the insights you provided in the field of higher education, and it is the time to ponder over to change the situation. Next, we invite the special invitee, Professor D. Janaki Ram, to address the gathering with his words of wisdom.
Dignitaries in the dais and off the dais, and I see a lot of my friends with whom I've interacted for a long number of years here. It's a wonderful occasion to be here, especially that I'm part of this great college. Having studied in this college from 79 to 83, the BTech Mechanical Engineering batch, same as my friend who is in civil engineering, Uday Bhaskar. So it's like, when you come to your 4 years of college, there is a special place for that college in your heart, because there's so many wonderful moments that are part of your 4 years undergraduate education. So like your mother, this holds a special place in your heart. So I'm suddenly so happy to be part of this occasion of the 80th birthday of this college. And when Uday told me this, I was initially having something else, but I said no, I'll come for this and pay my respects. That's the most important thing for us. When we studied from a college, got so much out of this college, I think what we owe to the society at that point, In fact, if I look back, I think my education costed me nothing. My family, my father has not spent anything on my education, because the government actually gave me scholarship at that point of time. And if you see that, I think society took the responsibility of educating people at that point of time, which is, a wonderful concept in terms of education. But I think the concept of education itself is undergoing tremendous change. That's what I thought I should highlight for this audience. And also I think it's important for us to also ponder, having spent almost now 40 years of my life in education, and after I finished my PhD, ever since, even though there are so many opportunities, my father himself being a teacher, he suggested that I come back to teaching. So ever since I was part of IIT Madras, which is ranked for several years now as #1 institution in the country in the NIRF ranking. So I'm part of that institution for almost now for 40 years, and then being part of that institution, I know the pedagogy, I know the kind of stuff that we do as part of the institute there, the kind of experiments that we have been doing. I think what I should say with all this experience is that education is at crossroads, and it is completely changing, and unless we are open to this, I think we will be making a fundamental mistake. And that's one reason why I thought I should share some of my thoughts at different levels. Now I started sharing that. I thought I will come here, especially for this moment, and then put this. It's actually Bertrand Russell has a book, small book on education, and it's an excellent book on what education as a concept is. It means different things to different generations of societies. For example, I think ancient people, for some of the Westerners, education is just a concept of aristocracy. You just have people just have enough money and all that. So education has a different meaning there. But for many of us at the current juncture, 4 years of education, I'm talking about largely the higher education system. The 4 years acquiring the skills and surviving for the life is a model that is now completely at risk. Why this is at risk? Because the technology is the biggest threat that the societies are facing now. For example, if you look at artificial intelligence, that's the thing that's coming in. Last 2 years, 3 years, the pace of change that has actually introduced into the society and how it is going to shape is something that we should be worried about at this point of time as a nation. Why? Because if you look at the industrial age, that created blue collar jobs. Lot of that's the blue collar jobs mean the skills are repetitive. We acquired a lot of skills which are very repetitive skills, not so much of design and higher level cognitive skills. Come the digital age, next I think the key transition is digital societies and with the digital age. And it started creating what are the white collar jobs, white collar, which are basically, as we know, or as we define it, with a higher level cognitive skills. Now, what is the impact of AI age? Now, I think what we are seeing is the transition into the AI society, And suddenly, Professor Ved Prakash actually asked this question: do we have answers? I think at this point of time, I think this is what we should be worried, and it's not it's not something that we take the past and we are very comfortable in our silos and project into the future. No, I don't think if we do this, I think we are into a very difficult period coming ahead. I think by all estimates, India is basically now a $4 trillion economy, now fourth largest economy. But if you look at the per capita income, it's about $2,000, and then the advanced countries are about $70,000. That's what we actually see. The gap is too wide. So what's the most important thing we should be worried at this stage? I think the most important thing that we should worry at this stage is what kind of a society that gets shaped in the AI age, And unless we worry about it and look at it very deeply, I think we create the corresponding skills into our younger generation. I think we will have a serious consequences. In fact, the National Education Policy 2020 talks about this, Kadambari, Banabhatta's Kadambari. It talks about the 64 skills at that point of time in the society. That was a very, in some sense, a difference that catches societal requirement with the skills that you generate in the people. If there is a mismatch, you are likely to create a huge unrest in the society. If this mismatch comes within or from abroad, I think one should be extremely careful of this moment. And the opportunity is 2-3 years. I think we need to rework our stuff to see how things should be redone. One of my suggestions to in fact, I'm trying to be part of the administrative setup as director of an institute. Also, one of the things that I would like to see is not just a national education policy. I think what we require is a national education and academic policy. I think both need to be integrated in a very careful way going forward. In fact, my friend Uday actually said there are two themes here: Vikasit Bharat and also Swarnandhra. And I see for the Swarnandhra, with the Chief Minister being very tech-savvy the most important opportunity that is available for the state of Andhra Pradesh is what is the opportunity now emerging as the AI sovereignty. When the society moves into the AI age, I think we need to build models that are very relevant for our society, and we need to create what is called the AI sovereignty. I'm going to elaborate this concept in my talk tomorrow, but then what I would like to say is if Amaravati or any other place in Andhra can pick up AI gig factory along with AI data hub and AI skill centers, I think we're going to do a tremendous tremendous advancement, and I think it's an opportunity that we should not miss. Of course, AI itself, how it's going to evolve, there are a lot of thought processes that are going on. And the final one comment, what I would like to actually give is for the universities, for all universities, is that it's no longer there's skill set of different nature, and then if you're just imparting the knowledge skills, which are becoming outdated very fast, what is most important is actually to help them do how self-learning can happen as part of the skill. National education policy somewhere hints at this and says that we need to actually impart the self-learning as an important skill for our next generation. My suggestion is all universities should have self-improvement and learning centers which will focus on the learner and helps him actually understand how to maximize his potential. In fact, if some tools like digital twins can be developed, it can go a big way in terms of making the learning learner-centric. And the learner should be in a position to see what is best for him. And if he can do that, which means that if you are able to give learning that actually tells the learner achieving his best potential, I think that is the way to actually move forward, which will require curriculums to be changed completely. I think the current curriculums where we say that everybody should go through, and this is what we know. I don't think with the next generation this is going to work. And I've seen these problems coming up in big way in the IIT education system itself. And what is most important is to give the freedom to the learner to be able to achieve his best during the process of cultivating or internalizing the learning process, which means that, as we say in Hindu philosophy, Aham Brahmasmi, okay? Recently for the Guru, when all my students for the Guru Purnima were saying, I was telling, you are a student for lifetime. A professor's definition is a student for lifetime, We have to be learners for our lifetime. I don't think there is any other way of actually surviving the complex societies that are emerging and the way the technology is forcing this change on us, With these few thoughts, I'm very happy to be part of this occasion, and I hope the college will get to tremendous heights.
It is very important for converting our students to good human beings, contributing to the country's development. When I see the topic for tomorrow and day after, it has been one of the wonderful topics, how education will help the country to grow to where it wants to in 2047. In the 5 years that I spent at the end of it, I had 3 opportunities in front of me. One, to join the armed forces. Second was to join NITI, where I had an admission which very few had got. From my batch, I was the only one. And third was to join Air India as a graduate engineering trainee. Out of the 3, Air India was offering one of the best salaries. So I went to my professor. Those days he was my mentor. Many of you may not be knowing Dr. K.B.R. Murthy. He was not a doctorate, Professor K.B.R. Murthy and Bhaskara Murthy. Yeah. And I went to him and I asked him, what do I do? To be very honest, I came from a very, very humble background, as Janikram was telling that what he spent on this college, 4 years of education was very meager amount. I'll be very, very proud to say I had only spent 230 rupees for 5 years of my education. Fees was taken care, food was taken care by my scholarship, and books were taken care by my seniors, and rest everything was taken care by my teachers. I still remember how when I went to KBR, I said, sir, what do I do? He said, what do you want? He said, I've always seen poverty in life. The salary of Air India is looking very good to me. He says, money can be earned any time. We got the greatest opportunity to serve the country. So I want you to go and join the armed forces. He says, you can always earn money, but you will never get a chance of like this again. See, that one word had pushed me to leave a great salary of 1400 rupees those days and to join about 750 rupees salary in armed forces. The reason what I want to say, this is the place which has shown me what is good, what is bad. What works for me, what I should do back to the country. Again, Janikram has very wonderfully said, Society has taken care of us. Thank you, Janagram. This is a wonderful word. Society has taken care of us to make us what we are. Because from my financial background, I could never have imagined that I can become an engineer. Leave alone, believe me, when I passed my intermediate, there was such an uncertainty in our life. I took training as a bus conductor. I finished my Hindi Pandit program to join a Hindi teacher. I also did several typewriting, shorthand, lower and higher, thinking that I will join a typist somewhere. Because those days were not the days like today, that the replacement and fourth year somebody comes 6 lakhs. Vice Chancellor sir was telling me on the average salary and all. This is all very difficult for us to imagine in our days. Nobody talked about a job. People talked about learning. Those were the days that there was no talk about a job. Job will come automatically. And KBR told me that you have got so much from this country. You became an engineer, which you could never have imagined. Go and give back to the country. And that gave me a chance to serve this country for 24 years in DRDO and the defense, to work for whatever I could give back, whatever I could, and work with people like Dr. Kalam directly, and work with the first Tejas aircraft to fly. All these things have happened not because of my greatness, I am nothing, unless the seeds were put by this institute in me. And thereafter, I wanted to correct Dr. Uday Bhaskar. He is A. Marshal I.G. Krishna, not Colonel I.G. Krishna. He was one of the college alumni who joined Air Force and rose to highest levels of Air Officer Commanding in Chief of Air Force Maintenance Command, Nagpur. So, I was in Pune in 1989, and A. Marshal Krishna, because of I had known his family, he came to my home. I was a young officer. So he came to my home, and we were talking about College of Engineering, Kakinada. He said, all fine, but what are you giving back to your college? You say that you are so thankful, but what is it that you are giving back? It's quite easy to take. There are so many people to take. That is the first time I came here and requested the principal to give me my first talk in the college. How is the life in armed forces for engineers? And joined the college, it was in 1989. Thereafter, thanks to so many people in front of me, I had 62 workshops, seminars and other things conducted. Last one being my friend KVSG's period in December last year, a faculty development program for all the people. See, 62, and tomorrow and day after will be my 63rd association with the college. All these privileges, all these blessings are because of this great land, College of Engineering, Kakinada. There are so many big people, so many thought leaders on the dais. When I heard Professor Prasad's strategy and his action plan, I was completely taken aback. I have been working with several universities and colleges setting their strategy, and let me tell you very honestly, one of the best strategies that you have in mind, but strategies will work only if you implement and continuously evaluate where we are and make a course correction, which we very fondly call it in PDCA, in TQM language. So unless you continuously evaluate, review, implement and see, and sometimes maybe you may have to use an iron hand, sometimes you have to. I had an opportunity to be in Professor Prasad's office in this afternoon. I'd seen how he was dealing with some of the people. Tough when required, kind when required. All these things will have to be added. Apart from all this, I would also agree that these funded projects, earning, because most of I had an opportunity to give several guest lectures in foreign universities in US and other places, including Tel Aviv. Most of those professors earn their 3 months salary, they only get paid for 9 or 10 months. They don't get paid for 12 months. Because other 2 months, they are expected to work with the industry and earn money for the university. Everyone who's from this university must see that they have to bring funded projects, they have to involve their students. Is another thing which, when my children, both of them, when they studied abroad in US, both of them, professor said, I have a research project, I'll give you funding for this, you work with me. How many teachers in this country say, I will give you the funding for your education, I have a research project? We are really limiting ourselves to reading and teaching. We will grow only when the teachers grow. We will grow only when teachers will take you to hold your little finger and take you to the path of growth. For that, teachers of this institute, this August University, will have to really grow, really make themselves feel responsible in nation building. Because people in the industry, people wherever they are your children. None of us have come out unless you people have put the seeds, you people have nurtured us, and you people have brought us to this condition. We are nothing. We would have been, perhaps if we were not there, we would have been begging on the roads. So, for making us, you people will have to take us. In our days, teachers used to take us as real children. The attitude of them towards us never thought that these were produced by some other parents. They thought they are our parents. And that is the way they have dealt with us. I would humbly submit to all the teachers of the university today to please go back to those days. Because earlier days, even a king's son, I was told, goes to Gurukul. He used to wear the normal clothes and eat the food cooked by the Guru Patni, go and collect the firewood and learn with the students. Where are those days gone? Those days will come back to you if you really pour that love on your students, if you really pour that attachment, belongingness to your students. Teach them how to be good human beings. We can read electronics, we can read AI, PI, DI, everything from books and other places. Books cannot teach us how to be good human beings. They cannot teach us how to be good corporate citizens. They cannot teach us how to be collaborators instead of individual contributors. My 47th year of working and almost close to about 35 years, 36 years of association of giving back to the university, I will only say this is one of the best places. The seeds were sown, plant came up, and I am in front of you. Grateful to you, grateful to all of you, and grateful to Professor Prasad, Professor Uday Bhaskar for thinking of you. Thank you so much for your kindness. Thank you. Anything I can do for the university, which I have always been telling, I am always available. Every Vice Chancellor for the last 25 years, I had a chance to, they have always called me, and I was more than happy, left everything that I was, even when I was in the far right in Arunachal Pradesh, when they called me, if we need you for some workshop to be conducted, I immediately ran and made sure that I am available here. And I also had the privilege when I was in the TCS, and by God's grace I was in a relatively and good, Venkat Reddy there, yeah, very nice. So I had a privilege of making sure TCS took the maximum number of students from this college in this one, and I believe the same thing trend is following and continuing. And this is all, every student, every alumni, I request you have a lot to give back. Whatever way you can, please give back, because these institutions grow only because you people are continuously supporting them. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Incidentally, this auditorium is given by 7983 batch. These are the two people from that batch.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experiences in the college and also how this college has inspired you and molded you to be a better person in the society, and also giving back to the society that builds the nation and the colleges and the universities. Thank you for sharing your inspiration speech, sir. Thank you so much. And it's a matter of pride to invite the chief guest of today's inaugural session, Professor K.K. Agrawal, to address the gathering with his visionary ideas. Before that, we request him to unveil the calendar of events related to Oak Jubilee celebrations. I request Honorable VC Sir to please join, and also other dignitaries to join for unveiling the calendar of events for this 1 year. Thank you.
తమ్ముడు కొంచెం సైడ్కి వచ్చి
Lovely, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor K.K. Agrawal ji to please address the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all friends on the dais. The very dynamic Vice Chancellor which this university has got, Professor C.S.R.K. Prasad, whom I know from IIT Warangal days, duly supported by his colleagues in the university. The guest this evening, my good friend Professor Ved Prakash, who has already made some very, very significant and important points for this event. Professor N.M. Bhatta, very emotional sort of outpourings at this solemn occasion. Professor Janaki Ram, being a alumni of the institution, made them very, very emotional and very, very meaningful. And colleagues from the JNTUK, many, many friends in the audience whom I know at personal level. Friends, I'm conscious of the time we have delayed you this evening. I already see about half the people having to leave because of the evening function. So I have 20 minutes, I assure you, I will now take 21 minutes. And I'll finish within the 20 minutes and hope that heart does not become weakened more than this. Thank you very much. Friends, it's a pleasure to be a part of this great occasion. I remember I had some interaction with Professor Srinivas Kumar when he was Vice Chancellor of JNTU Anantapur and hosted the Vice Chancellor of Technical Universities Conference, and I was there. And when he was a part of this university, and when Professor Prasad wanted to go in for this Oak celebrations, which is, I must admit, a new thing to me, because I think this is done probably only in Andhra to some extent, and it's a great, great learning. And then Professor Prasad asked Professor Uday Bhaskar and Professor Srinivas Kumar to work out the program for this, and I must admit very humbly that the first rough sketch was drawn in my office in Delhi for this Jubilee celebrations. And I think that has given me the right to be present this evening and address such an august gathering. Friends, we have been hearing about this college right from the day one. It has been one of the established engineering colleges, one of the very few we have pre-independence colleges in the country. And despite everything, let me assure this audience, this institution has delivered to the society what was due to the society all these years. We at times have, I think we have a great habit of undermining ourselves. We are not failed. We want to do more. Let us see it in that positivity, because if you look at the successes, where were we? What was the per capita income? What is the per capita income now? What was the quality of life then? What is the quality of life now? We have moved a long way ahead. But there is one way of looking at it. Our per capita income is 2,000, US is 70,000, is another way of looking at it. Somewhere down the line we have to strike a compromise and a balance between the two. Because either of the two approaches is going to be very, very disastrous for us. And I see some of the very positive trends in education, and I see some very disturbing trends in education. And Professor Ved Prakash has pointed out something, Professor Bhatta and Professor Janki Ram has pointed out something, Professor Prasad himself has pointed out quite a few things in his vision for this university. Unless we learn to see the realities of life, we don't exist. And the very fact I have been Chairman Board of Accreditation, I have been saying, if we finish at numbers, we have wasted our time. Unless we learn the lessons from those numbers, this exercise of measuring is useless, worthless, wastage of time. I've been going to various universities as Chairman of the National Board of Accreditation, and I've been saying from open stages, we are here to accredit the universities, not the consultants who prepare your SCRs. I'm talking in reference to many of the private universities and private colleges particularly. I know for sure that how many institutions tell their faculties 2 months before the visit of the accreditation, you may or may not take classes, but please complete all your registers finally. If that is the exercise of accreditation, it's better we stop this nonsense. Because if we do anything at the cost of teaching and learning, I think that's a crime which is the only crime which an institution can commit, and we cannot follow. And unless we learn to accept these things, we really reach nowhere. We have numbers, yes. GR 29 is too small, nobody will differ on this. 50 is a very reasonable target, nobody will differ on this. But only shouting, crying, webinars, seminars, workshops will not give us it. We have to have very, very concrete dimensions of this. This country has a very unique issue of striking a compromise between quality and, not compromise, striking a balance between quality and quality. We cannot be satisfied with 25 IITs or 40 IITs or 100 CFTIs. What is the number 100 in this institution? Today, in the engineering institution, only if I talk about, because number one, I am in engineering domain, and second, this college where I have the privilege of addressing you is an engineering university. Amongst the 5,000 or 4,000 plus engineering colleges, I can't count more than 100 which are worthy of delivering the highest quality education as a country. Now that is something which must waken us up. All colleges cannot be IITs, let us accept this fact of life. I have been a former student of quality and reliability, and I know for sure that the quality has a cost, and every product cannot and should not have the same quality. It's not possible. I've been saying the screw which we put in an aircraft cost me 2,000 rupees. With the same shear, same pitch, same size, the screw which I put in a bicycle has to cost 2 rupees. Because otherwise bicycles will never be able to be manufactured. Now the counter question could be, why not best quality? Yes, best quality, but then can we afford every resource for that? So this trade-off which we learn as a computer science student all the time, trade-off between quality, cost and delivery time has to be an important practice of life in all spheres and much more so in higher education. I must compliment this institution. We started from an engineering college, which all the colleges did in the country, and finally made its way through to the status of a technical university. Yes, the need for making universities in this country was practically because of being autonomous. Because an institution which is not autonomous really cannot deliver. And we have to accept this fact of life that autonomy is a prerequisite for excellence, and I'm sorry, so far in the country we have not learned to deliver autonomy. Because if we had learned, then the number of autonomous institutions would not have been so small, which are even today a very, very small number. I have been talking to various vice chancellors, why are you not increasing the number of autonomous institutions? And every time the reply comes, sir, most of our colleges are not worthy of autonomy. And I'm sorry, many of those vice chancellors that come from those colleges, which are not now worthy of autonomy, because now they become vice chancellors. Friends, this philosophy that the institution is not worthy of autonomy, my short answer is, if you cannot become autonomous within 10 years, please close down and go home. There is no need to have so-called affiliated colleges for all life to be there in this country. This is the luxury which only Indian subcontinent affords, affiliation. No other, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, except these countries, no country has a system of affiliation, because we do understand that there cannot be a system worse than the affiliation. See, a teacher teaches a student, somebody else sets the question paper who doesn't know what was taught, what was supposed to be taught. Somebody else marks the answer books who didn't know what was the intention of the paper setter to set the questions, and we believe we have delivered education. Now this cheating ourselves, our self-deception has to go. Because on one hand, the people ask me a right question for which I don't have an answer even as Chairman National Board of Accreditation. Sir, do tell us outcome-based education, where do we have the freedom to do that? Outcome-based education will mean I should have the right as a teacher to define what do we expect from my students in my subject. If I don't have that, where is the autonomy? Where is the outcome-based education? Outcome-based education can never happen when the syllabus is designed by 5 experts in the university. The conference room and the Cyprus right sheet is sent to all colleges to teaching that. So autonomy is a prerequisite which has to come if we want to have excellence in higher education. And when I talk about autonomy, pardon me saying, autonomy does not mean autonomy of the institution only. Autonomy has to travel down to the teacher and to the student. finally, otherwise autonomy has very little meaning. Again, many institutions, vice chancellors, directors tell me, sir, you say autonomy should be given to every teacher, which I mean, let him examine the students the way he or she likes, grade them the way he or she likes, within certain guidelines of course, and that's it. No questions asked. That's autonomy. They tell me, sir, do you really see all our teachers capable of doing this and trustworthy of doing this? I'm talking more in the context of private institutions, but yes, government institutions also to some extent. I have only one answer. Do we have any teacher in this country who appointed himself or herself? Either we, when the governments appointed him, or private owners appointed him. So if they are not good, who is to be blamed? Should the teachers be blamed for being appointed nominees? Or should we be blamed for appointed ones? So unless we understand this situation, and anybody who has the empowerment to teach wrong has certainly more capability to examine. I mean, if I know that he or she cannot examine, he or she cannot teach, and then I should have the courage to throw that out and see what happens. So autonomy has to travel down to the teacher and finally to the student. NEP, we all say, I have been a part of NEP in some sense, Professor Ved Prakash has spent enough time in pre-building NEP and so on and so forth. But honestly, let me tell you, National Education Policy is one of the best documents we have. But 90% of those things have been practiced in some university or the other, some college or the other, in some form or the other, which we have never been able to replicate. Experiments have been there, but we have a very great hobby in this country of undermining ourselves, of not appreciating anything good happening anywhere else, and promoting whatever bad has happened anywhere. This is our philosophy of working, which is really very, very disastrous. When we talked about Atmanirbhar Bharat, I always said Atmanirbhar Bharat will come only and only when we have Atma Vishwas in the students, we have the philosophy of Atma Chintan in the students, and we have a philosophy of Atma addition of ourselves. Unless we do that, it doesn't happen. I just had a small incident to my memory. When my son was married and my daughter-in-law, after marriage, they immediately went to USA, they were settled. So we thought, let's spend a couple of months with them to be knowing the family. We went there. And my daughter-in-law would go with us wearing a sari to sort of tell us that she is quite an Indian girl. In a store, a 2-year-old American child, walks up to her. He says, "Auntie, what a beautiful dress." Now, have a child in this country who can walk to a stranger and appreciate what he or she likes? We have killed that. Right from our school education, right from our childhood education. Sense of appreciation, learn to appreciation has been finished. Praising each other has finished. I think these attributes have to come. Maybe I have a lecture tomorrow and I talk about this at length, that attributes are more important than content. Friends, a lot of discussions have come here on diversity. Yes, very important. And learning doesn't stop at every stage of life. After I have taken over the responsibility of the President of South Asian University, I have really seen the advantages of diversity. When I find the students of several countries studying together in a class, there are some things which are visibly different than otherwise. And therefore, these things are important. Friends, an institution like this, which has done wonders, and alumni. I'm so happy with the support of the alumni. Some of them have expressed themselves from the dais. Some of them are sitting here. Some of them are financially helped and all that. It's a terrific support of alumni, and why not? And I hope that continues forever. And as far as decision taking in education, sometimes we are confusing fastness with correctness. That itself has become a little dangerous game. We want to be happy with some numbers which appease me rather than some numbers which help the society. Now that basic difference has to be appreciated are the numbers which help the society. I remember economists having said GDP is okay, but purchase power parity is much more important for us. Health services is okay, but infant mortality rate is much more important for us. Because sometimes numbers can be very giving a wrong picture. We have the best institution in the world, there is no doubt about it. It's a great state. But is that enough? Having a couple of best institutions in the world, does it give us any statistical average which is anywhere comparable? If not, then where are we? I think one of the speakers talked about the institutions working together in a very meaningful way. I personally feel, I'm not sure whether I'm right or wrong, when I talk about multidisciplinarity in the context of MEP, it does not mean that every institution must force itself to become multidisciplinary. A medical college must have started a medical college, an engineering college must have started a medical college. I don't think that's what it is. Multidisciplinarity means if a student wants to grow in a multidisciplinary area, he or she has the capability of taking a subject which assigned more. I remember I was at the convocation ceremony of one of the ISERs, which are our best research institutions in science. And when I was delivering the PhD degree to a girl, I said, "Where are you going?" She says, "Sir, I'm going for postdoctoral work." In which university? She named the University of USA. I said, "Which department?" She said, "Sir, chemical biophysics." My God, I have 55 years of teaching experience, and I still don't know whether any Indian university can ever have a department of chemical biophysics. Professor Ved Prakash would agree with me. I think 90% of his time was wasted in solving out the disputes between chemistry and physics. That's what we do. But Department of Chemical Biophysics. I said, "Why?" She says, "Sir, I want to research on the topic why some children are born deaf. Now, if I want to research on this topic, why some children are born deaf, I must learn the sound waves. So physics I must know. I must learn everything about fluids in the air, so chemistry I must learn. And I must be very thorough in anatomy of the air, so bio I must know. So unless I have guidance in bio, physics and chemistry, I don't think I'll be able to solve this research now." I'm still wondering, do we not solve many research problems because we have created these artificial walls? We know of the departments where teachers of one department do not allow the teachers of other department to talk. That is a culture. And we talk about interdisciplinarity on paper. I say that many universities say, well, you cannot have more than one supervisor from the university. I know sometimes it is misused, but can it ever lead to interdisciplinarity? I rather have a counter proposal. Let every department make sure that 10% of the PhD thesis definitely have a guide, one additional guide from another department. Because unless we go to these counter directions, I don't think we are really going into interdisciplinarity, multidisciplinarity, and things like that. Because unless we have very short views of we stop having very short views of the things, the education per se doesn't deliver to the society what it has to. Because education is a long-term investment. Education is not a 5-year project. Education is not a 10-year project. Education is maybe a 100-year project. And we were talking about several examples from America and things like that. Yes, we should learn from everybody. And that was the culture in this country. And I was reading, when UK started its first school, we had 725,000 gurukuls in this country. So we have in some way 725,000 informal schools, which they may not accept as schools, but they were schools in their own rights and producing excellent human beings. I always say there are some problems of education which are because of massification. We have to find some solutions for this. Fortunately, technology could be one solution for massification and uniqueness at the same time. Today I have the capacity to have a class of 10,000 students at the same time and also have classes of 5 students if required and at the same cost. Now that differentials have to be appreciated, respected and made sure. Because short views sometimes can be very, very dangerous. I'll just take 1 or 2 small anecdotes before I finish my 20 minutes. Somebody felt that yes, when aircrafts go for war, they get bullet holes because whatever we can say, every country fires at the other country's aircraft and something like that. They said, well, we have the scientific capacity to increase the weight of our fighter aircraft by maybe 5% and still maintaining its efficiency. So can we put a protective layer on the aircraft so that it is safe? But if you put the protective layer all over, then it's not allowed, then the weight becomes much high. So a very high level workshop was arranged where to put the layer. We can put only a 10% or 15% of the body of the aircraft. Somebody, apparent device man, he said, okay, let's look at all the aircraft which are returned from the warfield and look at the bullet holes, and that will give a solution. Now, apparently very correct thing. Look at all the aircraft which have returned from the battlefield, look at the bullet holes and see where are the bullet holes, put the protective layer there, it's a solution. And they found that the tail ends of the aircraft have the maximum bullet holes. So the solution is put the protective layer at the edge of the aircraft. Unless somebody who had the courage to differ, was allowed to differ, had the freedom to differ, he said, my dear friends, those who had bullets at the front end have not come back. So let's not jump at the solution. Let's look to the problem in its entirety and then look at the solutions. I'm sorry, I'm one of these crime makers, if I use the word, that looking at the tail ends and finding the solutions, but not looking at the integrity of the problem is probably the largest damage which can be done in education. Engineering education particularly, to which I have given my life to, and many of you, except maybe Venkatashi, who is from non-engineering fields. Engineering education was considered very important, and rightly so, because it was necessary for the development of the nation. But I don't know when did engineering from efficiency to become glamorous profession. And I think this glamorousness of engineering, we are paying the price. So-called, so glamorous, I mean, I have seen all your neighbors worried whether your 10th class child will go to engineering or medicine. You talk to anybody during the morning walk, your child has passed 10, is he going for engineering or not? As if there is nothing else in this world to do. And I give this psycho set as tremendous a lot. And today when we see all the nonsense in needs and all that, that is because of the highest stakes. We put on these good professions, but at the cost of others. When we developed IITs at the best institution, did we make sure that we will have so many institutions in other disciplines also the same caliber and the same resources or similar resources to take us care of. And this glamour unfortunately became anti-productive. These glamorous professionals starting aloofing themselves from the society. And therefore, today we have to talk to bring the society back into this. And bringing interdisciplinarity does not mean to all BTech students we will teach 2 courses in economics. Therefore, let's take care of. I have seen in interviews, ask a civil engineering student, in IAS particularly, because half the toppers are engineering. Do you think this auditorium will require how much tons of air conditioning? He says, sir, I think you have not heard me. I am a civil engineer, I am not a mechanical. Now, if you do not have the general engineering sense, then whatever engineer you are, it is useless to us. And if you are an engineer and your science is hopeless, you can never become a good engineer. And as many of my colleagues have pointed out, if you are a hopeless human being, whatever excellent engineer you may be, it will not be worth society. A minister told me once, said, I asked a doctor, you still do illegal abortions? He said, yes. He says, how do you make sure you are not caught? It is illegal in the country. He says, no, in my clinic. Behind my clinic I have a room where I have 5 dogs of very large size, and the moment I take out the placenta, I make sure it is eaten by the dogs right then. So I have no mechanism to get caught. So do we ever need to produce such doctors in this country? That would be a question which we have to ask ourselves. An engineer which has no idea about the cost, you talk to the person that you have designed this project, what do you think will be the cost like? So these are not out. Is it cheaper than the existing solution? I have no idea. But as NPA chairman, I was the Washington Accord member. I suggested only 3 things. At the end of every project, let there be 3 lines. What is the cost of this project? How does it compare with the existing cost? Number 2, what is the energy consumption of this project? How does it compare with the existing energy consumption? Number 3, how much of it can be converted into renewable energy sources? If every engineering student learns to answer these 3 questions at the end of every experiment, every project, then I think we have done much more than teaching 40 subjects, fighting with each other what to teach, and in the process teaching nothing. I have started telling now, we instead of focusing on what is to be taught, I think the single point focus has to become what I have to make of a student. Whether it is a sociology student or engineering student or medical student, what to be made of a graduate, that question has to be answered. Not an easy question, but till we do that, things will not happen. And unless we design our education accordingly, then the purpose of NAP, which is very good, which is very, very ambitious, but then are we really working in that direction? Becomes a question. Somebody raised, I think it was Professor Prasad himself said, talked about borderless engineering. Yes, people have talked about seamless engineering, general engineering. Like the first degree in medicine, MBBS, which does not have any specialization. Can we have first degree in engineering which does not have a specialization? I was asked to prepare a report on behalf of Vivekananda International Foundation on STEM education in the country. And many small-scale industries came and told me, sir, we want to employ an engineer, but we can't employ 6 interns. So give us an engineer which can take all cares of our small-scale industry. So this engineering education, which should serve the small-scale industry also, which is a requirement of India and will remain a requirement of India, is going counter in that direction. This is just give us one engineer who can serve our needs. In the process of our specialization, we have killed that. So we are moving in 2 different directions: seamless engineering, general engineering, border engineering on one side. BTech in artificial intelligence is another extreme to which we are going. I don't know after how many years we'll have to change to BTech quantum computing or whatever. Information technology degree is one example which I will say is a great engineering program. None of our IITs started information technology. I think they have the wisdom to know that there is no need of a separate discipline of information. It started with the urge of private engineering colleges to increase the number of seats in computer science of engineering, which our AICT will not permit. Therefore, richer people are always smarter people. They thought of hoodwinking AICT in another manner. You won't allow us to seats, number of seats in computer science and engineering, fine. But we want to start a new discipline, information technology. And finally, when I was looking at an AICT committee, we had 49 variations of electronics and communication engineering and 52 variations of computer science and engineering because of the robustness of Lalajis to make sure that they are able to get more number of seats by hoodwinking the user regulation. And now AICT is getting more applications to close information technology than to start information technology. So we must do experiments in education, but not very hasty experiments, not experiments without any study, without any prospects. As a student of software engineering, I always say we have a nice, probably the most beautiful chapter in software engineering, which I think should be taught to everybody, including every politician, which is called change management. They say that if you want to do any change, first you write on a piece of paper what change you want. Secondly, you write, if I do this change, what will happen? Thirdly, you write, if I change this, what else will have to be changed? If I make this change, what else will have to be changed? Number 4, that else will make a difference for the positive or negative, and then make a decision whether this change is to be done or not. I think this has to be very thoroughly practiced in all walks of life, in all disciplines. And I hope this program from this great institution, let us start this, and the intentions of Professor Prasad and his dedicated team, which this country is proud of. And I'm so happy to be here. I'll share some more points tomorrow. But I'm so grateful to the management for giving me this opportunity to be very enjoying the very, very precious company of this August House. Thank you very much, and wish this institution all the great best. State of Andhra is trying to celebrate Swarna Andhra along with the National Flag. And this morning, the chairman of Higher Education Commission met me, has discussed some ideas. So intentions are great. Let's put intentions into practice, and let's not be shy of pursuing ourselves if the need be, and when the need be. With these words, I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the pearls of wisdom and the scintillating speech in the field of technical education.
From former Vice Chancellors, alumni of this great institute, friends from teaching and non-teaching fraternity, invitees, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all. Before presenting the formal vote of thanks, let me present the permission of the honorable members here a few things about this issue. This land is not just a land, it's a land of achievements. The mango trees in this campus are not just mango trees, and they are the pillars of legacy. Why I say this is a land on which the great Telugu literary activity Avadhanam started by the great Telugu poets Tirupati Venkata Kavi. This is a land in which they have practiced this Ashtavadhan Prakriya. For that matter, the people who have breathed in this air, they walked on this air, who drank the water from this land. For that matter, all the five natural elements, Panchabhutas, have bestowed their choicest blessings on those who have walked on this land. So, let us, all of us, bow to this Almighty for giving us such a wonderful asset here in Kakinada. Secondly, let us all bow to the great soul who was behind the retention of this institute in Kakinada from shifting back to Visakhapatnam. It happened in 1946. In the post-World War scenario, they planned to shift this institute from here to Visakhapatnam. Some local social activists, legal experts, they tried their level best to retain this institute, to continue this institute here. One of those great legends is Sri Lakkaral Subbaraj Mandriga. So let us, all of us, thank this great soul of this land. On behalf of this university, College of Engineering Kakinada, I stand before you with immense gratitude and joy to deliver the vote of thanks. Indeed, it's a moment of honor and pride for me to be a part of this historical event, which will certainly find an appropriate place in the archives of this college, and certainly I will cherish this for the rest of my life. A galaxy of academicians, administrators, entrepreneurs are going to spend their valuable time, expertise and experience with us during these 2 days. First and foremost, I would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to our chief guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, President, South Asian University, Delhi, an epitome of principle, live simple, think big. For gracing this occasion and sharing his invaluable insights, sir, your words are truly inspiring and added great value to these academic celebrations. I sincerely thank Professor Janaki Ram, Professor of CSE, IIT Madras, for sharing his words of wisdom, not only in his field of chosen field, but also in his panoramic perspective of academics. Why I say panoramic perspective is right from artificial intelligence to global economy to Bhanavatta's Kadamari, nothing left. So he has covered almost every aspect of academics from the ancient times to the latest technologies. Thank you very much, sir, for being a part of this event. Professor N.M.K. Bhatta, Dean ex-IME, Bangalore, a strong campaigner of pedagogy in higher education. He has been a pillar of strength of this college. This institute has benefited many a time from his knowledge on different occasions. Sir, we are highly thankful to you, sir. I find no words to thank Professor Ved Prakash for accepting our invitation. We can understand how much of time and efforts you must have put in academics to raise to the level of chairman UGC, sir. We are really fortunate to have you here on this event, and thank you profusely for your kindness in accepting our invitation and giving us an understanding about the academic scenario in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Alumni is the backbone of any institute. The strength of any institute is visible through the achievements of the alumni. We are proud and of course grateful to them for their continuous support. Their commitment to their alma mater is something very special. We thank you all, sir. And the man of deeds, the person behind these Jubilee celebrations, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor C.S. Sarkyaprasad. In fact, sir, it's a learning for us to travel with you. So systematic, so focused and determined that he misses nothing, sometimes even the time. Thank you, sir, for guiding us and for being a source of inspiration to all. The trio are Trimurtis of the Jubilee celebrations. Professor Uday Bhaskar garu, Professor Srinivas Kumar garu and Professor Kakinada garu. They have been striving really hard to make things move day in and day out. Really, we are surprised and excited to see their energy levels and commitment. Thank you, sirs, for showing us the way. I thank the members of different committees involved and all the students in the successful conduct of this event. I sincerely thank our respected principal, Dr. Mohan Rao, for his patience and guiding through this event. And of course, to the wonderful audience, your energy, enthusiasm and engagement gave life to this event. Thank you for being a part of it and for making it truly memorable. My heartfelt thanks to the rector, registrar and OST of the university for all their support. I sincerely, with a hand on my heart, thank all my colleagues, teaching and non-teaching, for extending their wonderful support. I thank all the technical staff, printed and electronic media for giving an excellent coverage of the event in the media. I hope with gratitude all those who have helped directly and indirectly. I hope all the people who walked on this land before me and after me in the coming years. Hope you will have a wonderful time in the coming 2 days. Of course, throughout the coming year of celebrations, that is, Jubilee celebrations. As we conclude, let us carry forward the spirit of today and keep the momentum going on. I thank all players for giving me this chance to present the vote of thanks. Don't miss tomorrow's event. We have tasted this now. I sincerely hope that you won't miss any of the sessions. Please come without fail. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. As the program came to an end, we request you all to raise for national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Watch the colorful program. Thank you all.
I was telling number of times, right? ఎన్ని సమస్యలు వచ్చినా
ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఫోక్ సెలబ్రేషన్స్ ఫోక్ సెలబ్రేషన్స్ ఈరోజు కట్టడం మీద మొదలు ఈ రోజు నుంచి వచ్చే సంవత్సరం జూలై 16 దాకా సెలబ్రేషన్ సెలబ్రేషన్ జరుగుతుందో దానికి అనుగుణంగా కర్టన్ రైజింగ్ జరగడం జరిగింది. దానికి చీఫ్ గెస్ట్గా కేకే అగర్వాల్ గారు ఎన్బిఏ చైర్మన్గా చేసేటువంటి వాళ్ళకి, అట్లాగే ఇప్పుడు సౌత్ ఏషియా యూనివర్సిటీ అని ఢిల్లీలో అంటే సార్క్ కంట్రీస్ అన్నీ కలిపి యూనివర్సిటీని ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేశారు. సార్క్ కంట్రీస్లో ఉన్న పిల్లలందరూ స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ వచ్చి ఇక్కడ చదువుకోవచ్చు. వీటన్నిటి ఫండింగ్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ఇప్పిస్తుంది, అట్లా సార్క్ దేశాలు ఇప్పిస్తుంది. ఆయన రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే ఆయన మన వచ్చింది. ఆయన ఏమన్నారంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేది ఫోకస్డ్గా ఉండాలి, సొసైటీ బాగా అభివృద్ధి చెందాలనుకుంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అలాగే వేద ప్రకాష్ గారు ఆయన యూజీసీ మాజీ చైర్మన్, ఆయన కూడా ఏమన్నారంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేది బాగా ఇండిపెండెంట్ గవర్నమెంట్ కంట్రోల్ ఎవరైతే చదువుకుంటున్నారో వాళ్ళ
This college has and this was a time for the college to reflect after having the controversy as to how it can play a greater role in the improvement of education in general and technical education in particular, because we do believe that today's even any country's independence depends upon technological advancements, because wars are not being fought on Masapar, they are being fought on technological. Technological improvements is so important that every technical university has to rise to the occasion at a much higher level, and this is an opportunity which is being used to introspect themselves and make sure that they are able to deliver to the nation much better. Thank you, sir. I'm Professor K.K. Agarwal. I'm President of the South Asian. Thank you.
Education in general and higher education in particular is the agenda of the government. That is what is needed. We need to make more resources available to the institutions so that we can translate the intents of the national education policy into real. Now what will it require? It would require which will mean increasing diversity in the student population, which will mean creating additional infrastructure on the campus, which will also mean the ability of teachers to provide different seniors which will come to rural areas, semi-urban areas, urban areas. It will also mean providing additional it will also mean subsidizing higher education by way of instituting more number of scholarships, more number of research grants to the individual institutions, individual students. So these are the things which are extremely necessary for us to accomplish in this mistakes on the one hand, and we have to compete with ourselves also. We will outpace the mistakes in terms of enrollment ratio in higher education and also gender parity.
1 minute. ఓకే సార్. నా పేరు నరసింహమూర్తి కాలనాథ్ నేను ఈ కాలేజీ నుంచి 74లో చేరి 79లో డిగ్రీ తీసుకుని బయటకు వెళ్ళాను. ఈరోజు ఈ కాలేజీ యూనివర్సిటీ 80 ఏళ్ళ ఫంక్షన్ చేసుకోవడం చాలా ఆనందంగా ఉంది. అందులో మేమందరం పాలు పంచుకోవడంలో మేము నడిచిన నేల, మేము చదివిన చదువులు, క్లాస్ రూమ్లు అన్నీ గుర్తుకొచ్చాయి. తర్వాత ఈ కాలేజీ మాకు చేసిన ఉపకారాలు, మేము ఎలాగ మమ్మల్ని మంచి మనుషులుగా తీర్చిదిద్దింది, ఎలాగ దేశానికి సేవ చేయడానికి ఈ కాలేజీ పునాదులు వేసింది, ఇవన్నీ గుర్తు తెచ్చుకుంటే ఒక రకమైన ఎమోషనల్ ఫీలింగ్, ఒక రకమైన గద్గదత వస్తుంది. చాలా ఈ కాలేజీలో నాకు ఇలా రావడానికి అవకాశం ఇచ్చినందుకు వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్ గారికి ఇంకా తెలుస్తూ ఆయన అన్నట్టే ఇంకో 20 ఏళ్ళకి 100 ఏళ్ళు అయినప్పుడు 99.9% నేను ఉండకపోవచ్చు, కనీసం ఎక్కడున్నా అది చూసి ఆనందించాలని ఈ కాలేజీ మా టైం నుంచి చదువు ఎలాగ చెప్తారు, చదువుతో పాటు మమ్మల్ని మనుషులుగా ఎలా బతకాలి నేర్పింది, దేశానికి ఎలా సేవ చేయాలని నేర్పింది, దేశ అభివృద్ధికి మనం కూడా ఎలాగ మనం సాయం ఎలా చేయాలని చెప్పింది. ఈ జ్ఞానం నాకు నేను ఈ గత 46-47 ఏళ్ళలో పాస్ అవుట్ అయ్యాక ఈ జ్ఞానాన్ని ఎక్కువ వాడుతున్నాను. కాలేజీలో చెప్పే జ్ఞానం కంటే వీళ్ళు నన్ను ఎలాగ తీర్చిదిద్దారు, మంచి పౌరుడిగా ఎలా తీర్చిదిద్దారు, దేశానికి ఎలాగ మనం ఉపయోగపడాలని చెప్పారు, మళ్ళీ కాలేజీకి మనం ఏదైనా చేయాలని ఎలా చెప్పారు, ఇదంతా చెప్పారు. ఈ కాలేజీ చెప్పేది కేవలం చదువు అంటే నేను ఒప్పుకోను. కాలేజీ మనుషుల్ని ఒక రకమైన మనుషులు చేసి దేశానికి ఉపయోగపడేలా ఈ కాలేజీకి నేను చాలా నా అభివందనలు ఎంతో పైకి రావాలి, ఇంకా పైకి రావాలి.
డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ ఐఐటి మద్రాస్ లాస్ట్ 35 ఇయర్స్గా అక్కడ పనిచేస్తున్నాను. ఇక్కడ నేను 1979-83 బ్యాచ్ బీటెక్ మెకానికల్ చదువుతున్నాను. ఈ ఆడిటోరియం కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేసిన బ్యాచ్ ఇది చాలా ఆనందదాయకమైన విషయం. 80 years సెలబ్రేషన్ అనేది వండర్ఫుల్ ఈవెంట్. ఎక్సలెంట్ మెమరీస్ అట్ దట్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైం. అప్పట్లో మా ఫాదర్ రాజమండ్రి కాలేజీలో పనిచేసేవాడు, ఇంగ్లీష్ లెక్చరర్ కింద. నేను అక్కడికి జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు మా మదర్ ఏదో దూరం వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాను అంటే మనము ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ అనేది ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పార్ట్ మాత్రమే. మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పార్ట్ ఏంటంటే టీచర్స్ ఎట్లా చెప్పగలుగుతున్నారు, స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎట్లా లర్న్ చేయగలుగుతున్నారు, దానికి సంబంధించిన మిగిలినవన్నీ మనం క్రియేట్ చేయగలుగుతున్నామా, ఆపర్చునిటీస్ అన్నీ, ఎస్పెషలీ విత్ ఏఐ అండ్ ఆల్ దిస్ టెక్నాలజీ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్స్ హ్యావ్ టు గో అప్. ఐ థింక్ కాలేజెస్ మైండ్ సెట్ చేంజ్ కావాలి ఫస్ట్.